You have joined the Slack channel, which is great. So there you can stay in touch with me, but you also can get a feel for other members. They're all from like Africa, Asia, all over. But this is a fresh. I mean, we had 200 learners last year, but we have not brought them all here. Only the ones that are still continuing to do, we have brought them here. So it's a fresh, engaged learner base. Um, so whenever you can attend, whenever you have any questions, you can come and ask me or ask Pawan or ask the whole group. Yeah, whatever you want, you can do there. Sure. So that's from my side. Now tell me from your side, how are things? What has happened?
Yes, so basically, I have started slowly to learn right now because after work, the mental workload is a lot, and so I've completed the first module, and I don't know if it was a repetition of the agribusiness certificate, maybe, or it was quite similar. I found the answers, the questions, and the topics overall. And yeah, starting from next week, I will also schedule with my direct leader. How can I say, a little bit of less workload for me at work because it's really tough. Right now, we are entering in the most stressful phase, which is the negotiation phase, where we basically publish the tenders for food products in 11 countries, and then we start to negotiate them to get the best deal for the best quality. So I have to be to assist my manager in giving him, providing him with the market trends data regarding milk, plastic, energy, electricity, work, any kind of market stuff. And so during the day, I do a lot of researches, but I'm also how can I say, training two new starters in my team. So meanwhile, I have to be also a tutor, and then I come back and I start studying. So we have to. That's why I wanted also to catch up with you to get a better insight of maybe some. Yeah, you can give me some figures on an average on how long maybe a student can take to attend the overall course, so that I can really organize and learn at my own pace without stressing. And because I really want to divide it in a way that I can really enjoy it and learn as much as possible, step by step. So that is why it was important for me. I have also another question that is basically the wait a second, because I opened the platform here. The courses themselves. I saw that every module is full, and the how can I say, the topics are very very interesting. So definitely I will catch up also with my manager to see which ones can we really apply to the work. And yes, I'm very very excited to start in a proper way, organized. Right now, the platform is very easy to access. It's really user friendly, and the fact that the videos can be stopped and replayed, and it's super. I mean, it's really useful for me that I can catch up and take notes. So Yeah, and I wanted also to ask if at the end of it there's going to be an exam or something, or what something that I don't know, or a midterm or some, yeah, and then that's it. I mean, I'm trying to organize as much as possible because yeah, when I learn, when I study, I want to put 100% in it. Otherwise, it's useless. It's really useless. That is why I took the first module as a test for me to see if I can make it mentally during the week, and it was difficult because I'm working basically 9 hours a day straight, and so I will have to talk to my boss now, because of course they should allow me, to since we have a pact, an open pact right now. Yeah, the workload should be balanced to make the best out of both studying and working. So that is, I think, all for now by my side.
No, no, sure. Please, we are here to help you out. I will give you a good framework to study, but
Mhm.
also a good framework to use this study in your work. But more importantly, you can think of it like, see, you should not see this study as different from your work,
Exactly.
because actually possibly, for something for which you have to research 5 6 hours, maybe me or Pawan can do it, can give you an answer reasonably quickly for that, for example. If we don't know it, for example, if it's very technical sustainability, if we don't know it, we would still be curious to find it, but then we'll tell you that, hey, this is a research we have done ourselves just now, and then this is what it is, but you do your research as well and see how it goes. But for a lot of the questions you might be having as a retailer, from a decision making point of view, from a sourcing point of view, from assessing the supplier's risk point of view, from assessing the supplier's business model point of view, I would
Mhm.
say that talking to us will make your work easier. I would say you are talking about negotiations, right? So now I'm sure in your mind it's a very stressful situation, because there are a lot of factors in it involved. It's about emotions, it's about personal relationships, it's about a lot of things. But then, how do you try and get an outside in perspective so that you are able to balance these emotions, and for sure that you can approach for a conversation this way, or you can give this information to your boss, or this strategy of dealing with that negotiation to a boss. So the negotiation dilemmas are almost always um, around um, around getting what you want, and not giving the other person what they want. But
Mhm.
it need not always have to be that way. If we Because if you are only asking what you want and not giving them what they want, then we know that it's not going to work out very well.
Mhm.
So now, how do we get what we want and also give them what they want, or at least find the right balance so that they are happy and we are happy? For that, we can give you perspectives, right? Again, we may not have an answer, but you can discuss a scenario. Hey, here, this is the scenario, this is the situation. Because when you are trying to present that scenario to someone like me, you are already developing a lot of articulation around that negotiation, around that thing. So it takes a little bit of an effort, but you get a very nice outside in perspective. And
Mhm.
then that, hey, I have my thinking, I have my boss's thinking, and I have an external third party thinking to this dilemma or this situation. So whether I am dealing with the supplier myself, or I'm asking my boss to deal with the supplier in a certain way, I am able to do it. I am doing it the best way. And I'm sure that um, when you don't know this is the best or the optimal I can do, that gives you stress,
Yeah.
right? But if you know for sure that I have taken all perspectives, I've taken my interest or my perspective, my boss's perspective, and the supplier's perspective, and there is an outside perspective, and I'm able to articulate all of that into a right thing, then I think the stress is a lot lower. So you can leverage our platform for that as well, because
Mhm.
as I said, like we should have a perspective for everything that you're going through in your business, honestly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, sometimes it's a little bit difficult for you to formulate, because you can't explain the whole background and all of it, which is good because I don't have to know the whole background. I need to know what you want me to know, right?
Yes, of course.
Then I need to know the question or the decision you have to make based on what you want me to know. So if I to help you make the decision, if I need more information, I'll ask, and then you can tell me whether that is possible, whether it is open or not, and then we can have a conversation. So this is how the coaching sessions can be. This is how you can leverage the Slack platform, where you just say that, hey, Dr. Nala or Vijay, whatever you would like me to call me, see, I'm going through this today, and I have this thing. I will anyway be researching, but if you have anything on this, let me know.
Mhm.
Then you have another support for you, right? And for many of it, I might have something very quickly for you, so it's not too much of work for me. And if it is an exciting question and a dilemma and I'm tempted to do research, I'll do research, so we can both do research, and
Mhm.
then we can come to something interesting. So my students should never be under stress.
Mhm.
They can be stressed for personal reasons, relationships. That's nice to have, because that's what matures us, but not for work, I think. So an indication for you is, if you are stressed with work, um, and it is to do with real work, not a personal sort
Mhm.
of relationships or the friction, then you are not leveraging as well. That
Mhm.
should be your indication. Sometimes, because learning and coaching is a little bit, can be a little bit different, because you might be learning about something in the fourth or fifth module, which is too far away, but you have to solve that problem today, right? So, but of course, this is not no rocket science. You may not have learnt it, or we could guide you. I could ask Pawan that, hey, what is the right course for Veronica to do now, so that she'll finish.
Mhm.
So that's how you can leverage us. So I would like you to consider us as a part of your work, and not see us different from your work, or at least give us a chance before you see us differently. And then the second question, the practical elements, with respect to the course, yeah, you have redone it, but it's good that you redo it, because that's the core of the model. So the more you do it, the more you find the rest of the study easy. So anyways,
Yeah.
that is a redone for you, because not every student in the past have done that course on the platform, so that is part of that module. We have made it compulsory starting from 2023, that everybody should do that course. We
Mhm.
have improved that course also a lot, and then put it on the platform now. So yes, I have seen that you have started. Now, what is the best way to study? The best way to study, my best student, 18-year-old person from the Francophone Africa. So she told me she has done amazingly well. The transformation we have seen in her in the 8 9 months is possibly the biggest transformation I have seen in any individual in 8 9 months, basically, right? And I asked her, how did she manage that? She said she did two things. She said she used to try to spend 1 hour every day whenever she can, and she attended most of the sessions. Of course, she was young, she doesn't have industry experience, so she has to go through that process. So for yourself, I would say that if you leverage me as a coach and study, like, say, half an hour on an average every day, so like 3 to 4 hours every week, either it
Mhm.
would be at one stretch or spread out. If I were you, what would I do? I would study before I go to work every morning
Mm.
for half an hour.
Mhm.
If I were you, I would do that, because
Mhm.
it would really charge you up for work. It would
Mhm.
set you up for work very nicely, because we are not going to give you models, theories, which will spoil your day. We'll give you some practical things everywhere. You will see something practical, I would think. So, if I were you, I'd spend half an hour every day in the morning. Like you would do your yoga or meditation, you actually do it. I don't
Mhm.
do it, Pavan does it, but so that is what I would suggest, recommend to you. Do that for half an hour for 1 month and see how it's helping. uh,
Mhm.
because if you say that at the end of the work I will do it, that can be very stressful.
No, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're doing it for 1 week, half an hour in the morning, if it is not helping your work and your thinking and your mindset, definitely you will not be motivated to do that half an hour, because the half an hour in the morning is very precious, because you have to organize a lot of things and do a lot of things. So I would say that give it a chance, give it a try for one
Mhm.
week, 10 days, half an hour every day in the morning,
Mhm. Mhm.
and see what happens.
I think it's also, yeah, I will try it because in that way, I already feel like I've done something for me also, no? And then I go to work already, yeah, satisfied in that sense that even if then afterwards, after work, I'm too tired, at least in the morning I have done already something for me. Yeah. And also what we can do right now, mm, just to give you an insight of what is coming next. So, in the immediate future,
Mhm.
next week we will start the negotiation. So, how are they? Um, my manager is calling the suppliers. Okay, we have in front of us all the offers of per product, per supplier, per country, and he knows already everything about the market. So we know if they on the other side are, I don't know, giving us the wrong information just to deviate us. Usually I assist them, so I'm literally close to him and I hear what they say, all the negotiation. The negotiation is divided per rounds because, of course, it's not possible to get the deal done in the first phase. I have to say, this is the third round of negotiation I assist to, but the first one when I will be really playing a role, a part, because the company has seen me, yeah, grown. I am one, maybe not the only one, but just one of the few that can assist to the negotiations. Uh, we are divided in teams, so other managers don't give this possibility to other. I'm a buying specialist, so not all the buying specialists in my company for now are given this opportunity. And they have tested me last year, and on February I'm going to do 2 years in the company. And they tested me the first time, the negotiation went well, and my role then was just to reorganize the agenda and the data for my manager. This year is completely different because I have to prepare the market data for him and decide together the strategy. So, which products to negotiate first. If we have to change some suppliers for others, and what does it mean for us in terms of course, economic data, but for it, what concerns to me, sustainability data. So in the following week, I would like to share with you some proposal that my manager made me, because he wants to know what I think about it, what I think about them. And with some of them, I don't agree already. So basically, for an important product, he wants to change the strategic supplier, because to him, this supplier is old school, which is totally right. But yeah, and I don't know with whom he want to substitute this supplier. And also, I work strictly closely with the supplier, so I know them maybe better than he knows sometimes, because all the working product management related issues, I deal with them, and he deals only with the headquarters, department managing director. So of course, I don't say they are not professionally in their field ready, but then I am the one that solves the problem, then make sure that product is on the shelf in time ready. So I think that, so the first thing that we have to work out is what is really sustainability for a company, and how is it for my company. So I will definitely ask for him what does for him mean sustainability, because of course we represent the company, and then try to understand which supplier can be more sustainable. For example, for me, sustainability, it means also that people are treated right. Huh? So if I know that a supplier is totally a top supplier for us, but since I work with the collaborators, I know that they're not treated well. For me, I cannot really say yes to my manager. Maybe he says, but this is the best deal we can get for the best quality. So if I foreseen something, this is going to be a little bit challenging for me and for him, because of course he has to see the economic side and I have to see the sustainability one, if then I aim to be a sustainability consultant. So I will share with you our plan, so which products we're going to negotiate, and give you an insight of the suppliers, so that you can of course research on them, maybe just focusing on the strategic ones, of course, the ones that we want to focus on. um, and let me also know what you think about them, because of course from the internal perspective I can say, okay, I work well with them, but then you can analyze their website and really maybe discover something, because of course you are yeah, very expert in the field. So I am always up when it comes to changes, because I don't think that a company should be static, of course, and changes are always welcome. And but in this very phase, I feel like if we have to change, we have to change really consciously, you know. So this is what is the most challenging for me right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very happy to do homework for you. I'm very happy to listen to your presentation if you want to come and present. So I told you what you can do first half an hour in the morning, right? You can study and then you can go to work and see how you can execute. At the end of the day, you can take 10, 5, 5, 10 minutes Now in the Slack, one on one, you can leave a 5-minute audio or a video note, for me. That
Mhm.
can be the reflection of the day for you. Hey, Vijay, I had this issue during this day, for which I don't know whether I've made the right choice. Or even you say that, okay, these are all the good things I have done, I was very happy about these achievements. So it's a reflection for you. And also then you are really looking in deeper into yourself and say that, okay, where I might not have had enough information, or I might not have enough good judgment around
Mhm.
this stuff. So you can do that at the end of the day, 10-15 minutes. You can leave one or two or three videos for me, so that I know, like, how your day has been, what has gone in, like, in terms of research, in terms of. So for example, now you told me that, okay, do they treat their people well? Now what I feel, Veronica, is that it's a very very hard thing to actually assess, right? That one. But what I learned now is that actually this is not where businesses are most unsustainable. So the businesses are most unsustainable with the business model. I'll give you an example. You studied this tomato business, right? The business model, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
now that business I know very well. And I think I met them 4 5 times, and that has been one of my star business. I built the business model around that business. So now that business, for them, taste is the primary attribute. So then I asked them, okay, how do you get taste? Right? How do you ensure quality taste in a product like tomato? Because you grow them, and it depends on a lot of factors. They said that, okay, we have figured that out with over time, with experimentation. So it requires a different attention to growing, and a different attention when we are sorting. So we see that the same harvest, the full harvest, is not going to qualify for this brand honing tomato. So 30-40% of the harvest is qualifying for this honing tomato, right? So the rest of the harvest, so what they said is, because of this model, this structure, we have experienced a lot of waste. So they are focusing on taste. So which means the more they sold that brand, the more they wasted. So that is the most unsustainable element that they can have in their business. And he said that, okay, we are making up our money because our honing tomato is priced 3 times more than the average tomato. So we make our money, our profitability is good, but we are uncomfortable that our waste is high. And and if I assess that, like any other energy saving by 20%, water saving by 20% is nothing, because they are basically wasting 33% of the whole produce, which means it's so many liters of water and so much of energy to grow that kind of a crop. So then I said, okay, how are you dealing with this now? So he said, because of our core business model focus, we are creating unsustainability and we are uncomfortable about it. So then I said, did you think about value addition to this? And we don't want to sell the tomatoes somewhere else as a different brand and dilute the brand that way, right? So he said, yes, we are looking at value addition. We are looking about making snacks out of it, or uh, ketchup out of it, and those kind of things, tomato sauce out of it, ketchup out of it. And they did make it. Took them a long time, 4 5 years later. But now I would bet that no retailer or no buyer of there would have questioned their unsustainability on that front. They would have questioned, okay, how do you deal with your energy? How do you deal with the water? How do you deal with the people? How do you deal with whatever, like, what climate actions are you? What is your carbon footprint, and so on and so forth. But if you really look at their business model and they understand how their core attributes are leading to unsustainability, that would be the major part of it. And if you tell them that, hey, because of this you are leaving out a lot of you are contributing to a lot of unsustainability, how are you figuring that out? How are you figuring to solve that problem and make more money out of that, right? Then once they do that, they will treat people better. They will do all the other things that are important, I would think. So, I would really like you to also at some stage, if not immediately, to ask about, to think about, for Aldi, everybody has to contribute on low price. I know that. And I also tell that low price has to be given in the sense, because consumer wants low price. But apart from low price, what is your core attribute, and how are you ensuring that attribute? What unsustainability